If you guys saw this last
weekend? Yeah.
K-Mac and Mr. Goebel, who you probably most people haven't seen in a while.
True. Hasn't played a lot of tournaments lately.
Yeah, they got a goal, baby. Come on.
Heck yeah, it was fun. So Matt and known Matt as long as you since I moved over. It was the first time Matt and I played a tournament together. Definitely a smaller one, but some good teams in there. It was a blast. We took a little bit of cash home, and honestly, it was a lot of fun to just play. I think where my game is at now, I thought there was some natural chemistry between Matt and I. He knows what I do well. I know what he does well. So it was fun to share the court with him, and we were able to get the W and get it done.
Tell the viewers, like when you're thinking about chemistry, you're thinking about playing with certain partners. What are a couple of things you look for?
Yeah, I think, for me, I would say not to your level, but I would say I'm more of the grinder at times. I think maybe I'm a little more of an aggressive dinker, but if there's something that I lack, it would be the offense to put the point fully away. So when I play with guys like Rafa, play with guys like Matt, I don't have to press the issue and try to finish the point before it's really ready, because I know that as long as I'm moving the ball around, they're going to lift dinks to Matt, to Rafa, they're going to pop it up to them, and they're a little bit more comfortable completing it. So when teams isolate me or hit a lot of balls to me, it's actually what I want them to do, because I feel like I can get us ahead, not necessarily finish it every time at that pro level. So it's very comfortable for me to just move the ball around and let Matt do his thing. As you know, for those that don't know, Matt's
bounce, apex, go.
Still probably at least a top 5 attacker around. Tons of variety, a very high attacking IQ as well. So it was a lot of fun.
And something that Kyle mentioned is that Matt likes to speed up off the bounce. So K-Mac would hit push dinks. He'd force his opponent to have to lift. They'd lift in front of Matt, and then Mac has got plenty of options from there. And know that, for all the viewers out there, if you're looking to speed up off the bounce, and you don't take a step back, or you only half volley, and you're like, gosh, why don't I have any balls to speed up on? You got to ask yourself, like, are you not hitting a push dink? Are you not hitting your dink with enough intent that is forcing your opponent to lift up? That gives you a ball that kind of sits in front of you, because obviously if you're not dinking aggressively, it's going to be tough to speed up off the bounce. Now, lower levels, if you're playing somebody that only lifts and they're really not hurting you, you probably have license to speed up off the bounce. But higher levels, if you're looking to create offense off the bounce, push, move the ball around, aim a little deeper in the kitchen, force your opponent to have to lift, and then you have a green light ball to work with. A phrase that K-Mac and I uses is bounce, apex, pick your poison. Bounce, apex, and pick your poison.
Speed that baby up. And what's interesting too, because I had it was a local tournament, so a lot of people that I teach, some higher level 4-5s that are very familiar with my game and what I'm comfortable with, and they noticed, they were like, well, it seemed like you were exceptionally patient, because when I'm playing against them, I'll flick a little bit more and I'll go at them a little bit more, but I showed a lot of that restraint, especially in the finals and the bigger matches, not, I think, because I was incapable of it, but the other team was putting a lot of balls in play, but they weren't coming at us much, and I knew who my partner was, so I didn't have to provide our team's offense because I knew Matt was capable of doing that. If I played with somebody who was also just as good of a player but a little bit of a different style, I would have had to press the issue a little bit more. So you can kind of calibrate what you have to do or need to do based on the personnel on the other side and based on who you're playing with.
Right. And something you told me this morning, which I thought was very interesting, is that you kind of control the baseline, or you like to take most of the drops, let Matt disconnect. Matt's obviously not as good in transition, and then Matt can be dangerous with the poach, or he can be dangerous from the kitchen line. But
I think we're more comfortable. Like I said, I can take a good 65%, the majority of the drops at the baseline, and then once we got to the kitchen line, even sometimes when I was on the left, if they would lift a dink, it was my forehand. If Matt had enough time to slide over and also play a forehand, I was still deferring to him. So when we had that chemistry going, it felt pretty natural, and we were pretty comfortable.
And if you don't mind, who did you meet? You don't have to say their names, but who did you meet at the tournament? And I don't know if there's a lot of people that actually know who these guys are, but they've been hiding.
Yeah.
And they have a pretty badass blog.
Yeah, no, for sure. They're doing a great job. The NML, No Man's Land Pickleball guys. So I knew, I'd heard a rumor, I can't even remember from who, that they were the hidden geniuses behind it. And I played them a couple of years ago, pre-COVID, in a couple of tournaments. And they were solid, but I played it with Alex Fox, and I didn't feel like, I can't remember the scores, but didn't feel like they put us under a ton of pressure. But they've definitely improved, made us work for everything in the finals this time. So I did ask them just to confirm. They're like, yes, that's us. So definitely complimented them on what they're doing. I think they found a really cool niche for pickleball,
Yeah, for sure.
and I enjoy reading their stuff.
No, it's good.
Keep it going,
Good
guys.
insight.
Yeah.
It's you know, they're blunt. They're definitely not afraid to speak their opinion.
Which I think is needed too, right?
No,
I mean, and
for
that's
sure.
that's what I told them. I mean, we'll go there a little bit.
No,
here, but-
we're totally handcuffed. I
Right,
mean,
right.
when I've tried to go there, I usually get DMs and text messages from the people that I talk about that are not very happy. So, yeah, I mean, if I had it my way, I would hide behind a blog and I'd be freaking brutally honest. But there's no way.
Yeah,
and when I have sponsors that sponsor the pod, it makes it even makes it
a little tougher. We
Yeah,
got
of
to
course.
work a certain level of
Of
diplomacy
course,
here, right?
yeah. But
But
that's funny.
Yeah, they've been willing to give people, I don't know, constructive criticism.
for sure.
Which
It's great.
I think
And nobody's really doing that right now.
Exactly.
With a blog. I mean, like the Freestyle Boys are pretty open about their opinion on their pod. Could be good, could be bad.
well, we're similar, right?
Yeah,
like
for
we're,
sure.
we're willing to give some opinions too, but I think when you see
But
when you go to a tournament the next week and you see people,
make nice of it.
that's true. I think so. Are they? Yeah. No,
Right. I think it's one thing to bring up a problem, but it's something totally different to like bring up a problem and make nice of it and not just smother it.
For sure. For sure.
But easier said than done.
Got to show both sides.
No,
sometimes,
it's
you know.
tricky. You kind of have to hit it from all angles because if not, just doesn't get perceived the right way.
For sure.
You know what I mean?